Hello everyone, welcome to Brilliant Public School online edu classes. Today we are going to continue with the chapter number 9 of class 8 history, that is the making of national movement 1870s to 1947. So we are going to start with the growth of mass nationalism. After the struggle against the British rule gradually became a mass movement involving peasants, tribal students and women in large number, occasionally factory workers as well. And the First World War, it altered the economic and political situation in India. It led to a huge rise in defense expenditure of the government of India. The government in turn increased taxes on individual incomes and business profits, increased military expenditure, and the demands for war supplies led to a sharp rise in prices, which created great difficulties for the common people. On the other hand, the business groups reaped fabulous profit from the war, as you have already read that the war created demand for industrial goods like jute bags, clothes, rails, and caused a decline of imports from other countries into India. So Indian industries they expanded during the war and Indian business groups began to demand greater opportunities for development. Participation of all these people transformed the national movement into a mass movement. None other than Mahatma Gandhi is credited for this transformation. This movement or this phase of the freedom movement is called the Gandhian era. Towards the end of the First World War, the Indian national movement got a dynamic leader, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Under his able leadership, the national movement became a mass movement and people from different walks of life participated in this movement. Gandhiji arrived in India in 1915 from South Africa at the age of 46 years. His South African campaign had brought him in contact with many Hindus and Muslims, etc. He spent his first year in India traveling the country, understanding the situation and the needs of the people of India. He intervened in the local movements in Champaran, Kheda, Ahmedabad, and in Ahmedabad, he led a successful mill workers' strike in 1918. So let us now focus in some detail on movements organized between 1919 to 1922 after the advent of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi Gandhiji was born on 2nd October 1869 at Porbandar in Gujarat. He studied law in England and went to South Africa to practice law and stayed there for 20 years. He emerged as a mass leader of India. In South Africa, Gandhiji struggled for the Indians in non-violent marches against racist discrimination and had earned great respect and popularity both at international and national level. Mahatma Gandhi spent his initial years in India traveling throughout the country, understanding the people, their needs, and overall situation. Gandhiji's method of fighting was known as Satyagraha, which was based on the principle of truth and non-violence. Here are some glimpses of Gandhian movement like in 1917 Champaran movement, Kheda movement in 1918, Khilafat movement in 1919, non-cooperation movement in 1920, civil disobedience movement in 1930 and Quit India movement in 1942. Rowlatt Act. Do you know what was Rowlatt Act? Under the Rowlatt Act, when the Rowlatt Act was passed in 1919, fundamental rights such as the freedom of expression were curbed and it strengthened the police power. This act was passed under the viceroyalty of Lord Chelmsford, which gave the government enormous power to repress political activities in the country and allow detention of political prisoners without trial for 2 years. The Rowlatt Satyagraha. In 1919, Gandhiji gave a call for a satyagraha against the Rowlatt Act. On 6th April 1919, Mahatma Gandhi started a non-violent satyagraha against the unjust Rowlatt Act. passed by the British government, the act that gave the government power to imprison any person suspected of terrorist activities for a maximum period of 2 years without trial. The act curbed fundamental rights such as the freedom of expression and strengthened the police power. Mahatma Gandhi, Muhammad Ali Jinnah and many other leaders, they felt that this act is devilish and observed 6th April 1919 as the day of non-violent opposition to this act, as a day of humiliation and prayers and hartals, strikes, where while the hartal was successful in Delhi, Punjab and a few other places, they witnessed violence. In the wake of violence, the hartal was suspended by Gandhiji. This resulted in Jallianwala Bagh massacre on 13th April 1919. Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Hartals took place all over the country opposing the Rowlatt Act. On 6th April 1919, Gandhiji was arrested. This was followed by the arrest of Dr. Saifuddin Kichlew and Dr. Satyapal in Punjab. On 13th April 1919, a peaceful public meeting was going on in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar to protest the arrest of Dr. Kichlew and Dr. Satyapal. General Dyer was the military commander of Amritsar. He wanted to teach Punjab a lesson. With his well-armed soldiers, he surrounded the Jallianwala Bagh and blocked its only exit. By this act, the crowd was trapped in the ground. Finally, General Dyer ordered his soldiers to shoot the trapped people with machine guns and rifles. Soldiers, without any warning, opened fire on helpless men and women and children gathered there. More than 1,000 people they died and many more were injured. This incident took created shock and horror among the people. They protested violently. This act was considered as a very cruel act. The British reacted brutally, torturing and arrested people. Rabindranath Tagore reacted by renouncing his knighthood. On 15th April, the martial law was proclaimed in Punjab. The government banned newspapers and repressed the freedom of Indians. These violent measures by government, however, strengthened the determination of the Indians. Gandhiji knew that no broad-based movement in India could be organized without the unity of Hindu and Muslims. The First World War had recently ended with the defeat of Ottoman Empire, Turkey. The Khalifa, the spiritual head of Islamic world, was looked upon by the Muslim as their head. As there were rumors of a harsh peace treaty to be imposed on Khalifa, a Khilafat committee was formed in Bombay in March 1919 to defend the powers of Khalifa. Hence, the Muslim brothers Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali launched an anti-British movement and discussed the possibility of united mass action with Gandhiji. At the Calcutta session of the Congress that happened in September 1920, Gandhiji also convinced other leaders to start a cooperation movement in support of Khilafat as well as for Swaraj. This came to be known as Khilafat movement. The Khilafat movement got the full support of the non-cooperation movement gained momentum through 1921 to 22. Let us know what were the causes of non-cooperation movement. First, Jallianwala Bagh massacre, dissatisfaction with Montego Chelmsford reform, Rowlatt Act and Khilafat agitation. Why non-cooperation movement? As described by Gandhiji in his book Hind Swaraj, Britishers could settle in India only with the cooperation of Indians. Hence, if the Indians refuse to cooperate, we can achieve Swaraj, leading to collapse of the British Empire. So, let us know the features of non-cooperation movement. Thousands of students they left government-controlled schools and colleges, and many more leaders such as Motilal Nehru, C.R. Das, C. Rajagopalachari, they gave up their practices. British titles were surrendered, legislatures boycotted, people they lit public bonfires of foreign clothes, Import of foreign clothes fell drastically between 1920 and 22, but all these were merely the tip of iceberg. Large part of country were on the brink of formidable revolt. Importance of non-cooperation movement. The movement was widespread and reached even the remotest village of the country. The movement saw large-scale participation of the masses. The Hindu-Muslim unity got strengthened, in many cases. With this, we end the second part of our chapter number 9. See you soon in the third part. Happy learning, everyone.